Okay. Everyone ready?
Ready.
Okay, great. Everybody, thank you for coming, logging on, watching, listening. Welcome to Couple of Drinks. We've got two people in the building that we're so excited to speak to. We're talking business owners. We're talking risk takers. They were on a reality show called The Ultimatum. You can't get a bigger risk than that, some might say. And they're walking through life together. We want to speak with them. David's had a lot of experience with athletics and business. Casey, as I understand it, has a lot of experience in being in the sky, if you will, and as well as running a business, which is fantastic. So we're going to dive in to the show that they were on, and we're also going to dive into how, what it takes as a couple running a business, having a dynamic, when it comes to those types of things. Everybody, please welcome David and Casey.
Yay. David and Casey, we're so excited to have you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. What's on the agenda today? What are you guys doing? It looks sunny over there.
So
Sunday.
Sunday reset,
Mhm.
Clean up the house, go to the gym, come back, just take care of the little things around the house.
Yeah, just a reset.
Yeah,
Sunday
very good. A little behind the scenes. Whenever we're about to record, it seems like a lot of stress happens. And so speaking of reset, I was literally folding laundry like a crazy person, be like, get the mics, I don't know what's going on, and just putting it all together and then throwing it away. So it's been a good reset Sunday for us as well.
Yes. Good reset. Sundays are always like the perfect reset.
Me too.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm driving back from the gym, like, I can't be late.
I know. I'm
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Where is he?
I know.
What do you mean you don't have the notes? Stuff like that. Well, to both of you, I want to say, both Allie and I think to have the bravery to go on a show and put yourself out there and really be, super vulnerable and honest and open. When you guys had the opportunity to go on this and it was offered to you, was there any part of you that was like, you took a beat and thought, maybe we don't go with it?
During the show or
No,
before you're saying?
Before the show.
Yeah,
Before the show.
Well, and I even want to ask, okay, so first, to people that have never seen it before, so it's The Ultimatum. So it's a reality show. You guys have been you guys were a couple for 5 years before you guys went on it, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And so then it's like, okay, it's either marriage or not. So that's the reality show. But like, how did you guys even get in contact with doing it? Casey, was it you that you've seen it before and you were like, okay, I want to do it? Like, how did you guys even get the opportunity to do it?
I
Like, how
had
did that
definitely
come-
seen the show before, but it was David who was approached by it, actually.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they messaged me in my Instagram through the DMs and like, hey, would you like to do this show? And then I brought it to her attention. It was a totally different one. And she was like, no, that's very bad. That's a bad show. So then I got offered another one. She was like, no. So the last one, third time, right? And The Ultimatum came out. I've never heard of that show. And so she was like, oh, I used to watch that back in the day. It used to be a popular show. And then it's a good show. So I was like,
Yeah, of
All
all the
right.
shows that he had been offered that were couple shows, this was the one that respects the relationship the most. So
Yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
it's more therapeutic versus temptation and if he's going to do something bad type of show. So it was something I was way more open to.
So,
Like that.
so David, is this like, you've been approached 3 different shows, 3 different times. Was this like a goal for you? Did you want to get on a reality show?
like right when I got out of high school, I wanted to do The Real World. That was really big back in the
Oh,
day.
Yeah, of course.
100%. Yeah.
So, I was in high school.
Just be yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, just be yourself. And so I actually auditioned and got picked to go, and it was 3 people. They flew me and my best friend out to Miami, and
my
3 other
gosh.
people, and we all had to go out to the club and party. And they ended up picking the other person because it was a lot wilder than all of us, of course. And so, but it was a cool experience just going back and forth. I really wanted to do that. And then ever since that one time, I forgot about it, went to college, this, that. And I guess they have my background or just some type of information that I put in before and reached out to me. And I was just like, okay. And
Yeah, I think casting typically has like almost like a Rolodex of people that they've approached for shows that they think would be good on shows. And he was a part of that, I guess, since the beginning. So they just would come back to him every once. They've approached him for single shows too before. And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, we're not doing that. No.
No.
Okay. So that makes sense.
Yeah. And is there well, I think that's unique. I don't know anybody who's been approached 3 different times to go on a show before. That's pretty badass. So when you finally decide, like you approach Casey with the David and you're like, hey, what about this? Is there a series of questions that the casting goes through with you, producers go through with you? Like, what's the vetting process like to finally get on that show?
There's multiple interviews we have to do.
Multiple.
So they first have an initial, like a Zoom, basically with both of us together, and then they'll do it separately with me by myself, him by himself, and then after that initial Zoom, then they'll have us apply if they want us to continue going forward. So then we'll apply, and then we were first approached in October, and they didn't tell us we were selected until 2 days before we left, which was March 18th.
Are you kidding me?
So that many months we had
Dude,
just
can you imagine?
doing interviews.
But they gave us a hint. So, because at that time I was still playing basketball professionally. And so I told them, my agent, we have a team. And they were like, okay, if I tell you this, that means you're most likely in, but we're not too sure. But for you to stay still in the US instead of going.
So don't book any basketball.
And so they gave us a little hint and we're like, okay. So we prepared for that and they ended up going with us. But we didn't know for sure, like a week before? Or?
No, maybe a couple days.
Days before.
Or like, I would say 4 days before.
Insane.
Yeah. The crazy thing too is we had, they told us 2 days before we moved into our house, and then we had to leave 2 days later.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my gosh.
It was hectic. Yeah, it was a lot going on. And then just thrown into that experience, you know?
Yeah, it was wild.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And so then you guys had just moved. So I guess my biggest thing that if it were me, I'd be very concerned about would be, so, because you guys have a dog together, right? Yes, I saw like your cute little dog. Yeah, I'm like, right. And I know it's
Ours is down here.
back there too. So, how long were you gone for? And then what did you do with your dog for that long of a time period and that short of notice?
My family?
I have a really good friend. It actually was so wild how perfect it worked out. I have a best friend who lived in Vegas, and that's where we filmed the show. And she was moving to Texas the week before we left. So the apartment that we still had, we had her, she just moved into that apartment. For the 2 months that we were gone, she was going to move into our apartment, and she watched our dog at our apartment. And it was easy for her to transition moving into Texas, and then for us to not have to worry about anything else. And we just it was just kind of perfect how that worked out.
We wanted to bring her, but the partner she was with didn't like dogs, and we were like, red flag.
I know.
Okay.
I didn't want to bring her so
sorry.
bad.
Yeah, so sorry.
I know. Can you imagine how much better it would have been if I had her there?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Talk about comfort during that show. Did it cause getting that notification so quickly and like so spur of the moment? Did that cause a lot of stress as to like what to bring, what to all these things, what to pack? Or was it more of like, this is going to be what it's going to be, and it was okay to find out on such short notice?
It was kind of like a mixture of both.
Yeah,
her side was kind of like that. My side was like, I'm gonna wing it. I'm not gonna see the show. I'm just gonna
Such a dude.
I'm not gonna. I tried to watch like one episode, and I was like, oh, whatever. All right, let's just go in it. And I'm glad I just went in. Yeah,
he went winging. I
right into it.
Was obviously caring about the outfits and things like that because we had to get things approved also. So within those 2 days, we also had to send outfit ideas to them and show, get outfits approved for certain host premise stuff.
Really?
So I was freaking out about the clothes, and he was just over here like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, because there couldn't be no logos, and I was like, okay, all my stuff is like Nike and like basketball stuff.
Right.
I know, and we had to figure that one out. That was your big problem.
Yeah, I had to go shopping. I had to go shopping a lot.
Yeah.
Aloe or some stuff.
Oh, no, darn.
Small. But
yeah.
Dude, I would have the same problem. All my shit will have like Jordan Jumpmans everywhere. So,
FUBU.
Do you think your basketball career, David, helped you as far as like knowing going into this, there's going to be a ton of eyeballs on you, a lot of judgment, and having that athletic background, dealing with crowds and fans and things like that. Do you think that helped you, or this world was totally different?
Yes and no. It did help me in a sense of the isolation period where you're overseas for 6 to 8 months and no family, nobody. You're just training. You're doing your own thing. And same as in the Ultimatum, they took our phones. We had no communication with the outside, not with each other for days,
for like
weeks.
10 days. Yeah, the first 2 weeks.
And it messes with your mind. You start to think the only people you see or you're allowed to see are the people you're working and going on dates with. So it's just like whole little mental game, which prepared me for that as well. A lot of people were going through it and stressing. It was like, oh my God, what am I doing without my phone? No family. Like it's tough. And on top of all the stress, right? And so it just helped me prepare for that. But the cameras, it was just weird. Like playing in sold out arenas and playing with, kids having your jersey in the stands. And it's just sitting there with 8 cameras and 6 crew members everywhere you go. It gets nervous. You get sweaty. You start thinking like, make sure you don't say anything. This is going to be shown to millions. And, you just want to just do your homework in your head before you say anything,
think
and
before you
just
speak. Yeah.
go over the guided process and,
I would say after the first week, though, with being, 24/7, having cameras every single day around us, you pretty much get used to it. So it was something, you still feel like you had to be on all the time, but it was something to get used to. But
that was the most exhausting part. You have to be on like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. You're on till midnight, 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Full day, and you get 1 day off. You're filming every day. At that point, it's guided. They give you a little sheet. You go over and you talk about stuff in your own words. Like the point of the show is to know that how they brought it to our attention was these are the questions you should ask someone before you get married, because a lot of people get married and find out a lot of little things.
Yeah. So the idea behind the show was they kind of framed it as this is a way to maybe go through a prenup-ish type thing without going through, without getting surprised, because so many couples, they fall in love, they get married, and the next thing they find out that they want to marry their mom because they need to be raised. Jebin, stuff like that.
For real though, yeah.
Yeah,
that was wild. Yeah, they call it a guided experience. Like we don't have to say anything we don't want to say or do anything we don't want to do. It's all what we are comfortable with. But when you're with somebody and you're talking to them 12 hours a day, every single day for 2 months straight, or even 3 weeks straight, it's hard to find things to talk about after a certain time. So that's what those questions were really just to help us be able to think of certain things to talk about that we didn't think of or that we, wasn't on our mind. So that's why they call it guided. But it's very therapeutic. It's really like therapy 24/7.
It's a couples therapy. A lot of exercises you go through every day while you're doing that and learning about yourself and the person. So I thought it was great. Yeah.
What exercises do they have you do?
So there's one that I love that's like always stands out to me ever since I was there. It was where you cross your legs, you touch knee to knee, like Indian style, right? And you hold each other's hands and you look at each other for 5 minutes. Was it 5?
I think it's 3 minutes straight.
3 to 4 minutes straight. Just look.
Just look at each other.
I guarantee you will feel every single emotion that you've ever felt. You feel embarrassed. You feel insecure. You feel powerful. You feel sexy. You feel everything you can feel through that exercise, and it brings you down to the same level. It's unique. I love it.
It's a
cool little
thing,
exercise.
Yeah. It's awkward in the beginning, but you just kind of go through it.
Yeah. But it's
Like I was thinking.
I'm like, let's do this.
It's
You know what? I when like these staring things like at different mastermind business conferences I've gone to, or like, self-help or anything like that, like where it's like you're literally super. There's this one. See, he doesn't do this. He's like, I've done this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like you're really close to each other with a stranger, actually.
Okay.
And it was like you literally would just stare at each other for like a certain amount of time.
Bro, that's hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on it with him.
But with the person with the person you love, you'll tear up.
Yeah, it'll be emotional.
Oh man,
that's cool. So we should do that.
I'll give it a whirl.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a whirl.
It's only 4 minutes out of your day, right? Yeah.
It's the minutes you feel long though, but it's worth it.
Did they have you guys do that exercise, or did they like say to do that exercise with your partner, like to keep doing it? Like, is that something that you guys still practice now?
Yeah, sometimes we'll do
suggestion.
it. Yeah, it's a suggestion. Like, there's different exercises. Like, okay, before you go to bed, you tell each other 3 compliments of each other every night. Like, you're beautiful. I love you. Thank you for being there. Every night, just 3 compliments, right?
Yeah.
There's all these little exercises. So
yeah, but they don't like the pillow talk is what they called it. They did suggest doing that every night with ourselves and with our trial partner, which was obviously more difficult to do. But with the they even suggested that to do the hand holding and staring with the trial partners, but obviously we weren't comfortable doing that.
She said no, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Is that
we had boundaries?
Sure.
Yeah, did you guys go into the experience having certain boundaries? Like, did you guys talk before and you're like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're not gonna do this?
The biggest boundary we had is just being physical, because we didn't really like working on intimacy. We're not there to learn about our intimacy. We've been together over 5.5 years at that point, so we knew how that was. We're good with that. It was really just what we were lacking in ourselves and our relationship to see if so we can figure out how to either fix that part of ourselves or be open to that and just use that, what we've learned with our trial partner in our actual relationship, and or for some couples, for them to realize, okay, this person isn't the one that I'm meant to be with, and I, can be with somebody different. It doesn't have to be the trial partner, but it opens some people's eyes to think, okay, maybe this isn't the person I'm going to be with. So it really is eye-opening. It's just, the biggest thing that I would say is you have to be open to that type of change and for your own self, because you're going to notice things about yourself that you didn't even realize you had to work on in that relationship. When you're going through it, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool.
See, that
Yeah.
just sounds so silly. So we just barely celebrated last Monday our 14-year wedding anniversary. Like very different, like where we did get married. I mean, we only had been dating for over a year, and like I was really young. You weren't, but I was. I was young. And so, because we have a bit of an age gap, so it's kind of cool too, especially like when we've been doing what we've been doing for so long, to also just like hear like these fresh perspectives
For sure. Yeah.
that I'm like, oh, this is like so many people can learn from this, whether you're dating or whether you've been together for 14 years or 15 years.
Yeah, for sure. When Casey, when you were talking, when I was watching the episodes, I wanted to ask both of you because, and this is a compliment, you two were definitely the most normal on that fucking show. Like,
We've gotten that a lot.
like, no, dude, even if you go on YouTube, and I'm not recommending it because I don't, the online world can be crazy, but even on YouTube, all the clips we're talking about all this other drama and going through the episodes, looking at the reunion and all this kind of stuff. The one thing that everyone seemed to do, from my perspective, that you guys really didn't seem to do, which I think was more healthy, which is when they got to their new trial partners, they would just vent. It was like dark therapy. The second the new face showed up, they just tell them everything they've done for their partner, every reason why their partner sucks, and all this kind of thing. And like, you guys didn't really seem to do that. But is the temptation that real to just like unload on a stranger?
It depends on the relationship.
Depends on the loyalty to your partner, for sure.
That was the biggest thing. I agree 100% with that, because that's something that the other couples, at least the guys in those couples, really lacked, was that loyalty. Because, for some couples, they were telling their trial partner they met 3 days ago, text messages between him and his
their secrets
original partner and their secrets about their families and stuff. And they just met this person. And it just started this whole thing. Honestly, those stemmed from that, I think. But it had to do with the loyalty and the insecurities, I think. And
makes sense.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like, speaking of the real world, I like Allie said, I'm a little bit older, so I was there for season 1, bitch. I was there for season 1. So when they first started doing the reunions, for some reason, I remember this vividly. During the first reunion of the real world, people would get up there and they'd say, I wasn't like this, I wasn't like that, they did this to me, they made me look this way. And one of the cast members of an early season, she says, you can say that, but if that's what they had to use, and if that's what they had to edit, sorry, maybe you really were like that. Yes. And my question is, I'm so interested to get both of your perspectives on, was the show really true to what they said it was going to be? Or once, you guys recording's done and you're anticipating watching this, is there a piece of either of you that was scared they were going to cut you up and make you look in a different light than you actually felt like you were?
I personally wasn't too worried about that, because I was comfortable and confident. I felt like I was myself the whole time, and however they cut it's still my own actions and my own words. And they do have ways to like make things seem a little different. Just because it is reality TV, they do want it to be something that keep people's attention. But I will say the one thing is they film for almost over 2 months, and it's only 9 episodes. And if you narrow that down by 4 couples, it's 9 hours, but divided by 4 couples, each couple has a little over 2 hours total out of 2 months of filming. So they can really do anything. And I think that is how everybody is. However, there was so much that was also left out that can, help people understand a different, like if someone had a really bad edit or whatever, it's like, that isn't who they are, but that is something that they've done and how they are in that relationship or whatever it may be. I don't think it doesn't like fake anything really.
Yeah, it's okay. A producer told me I was asking him the same thing before I got on the show. I was like, so how's this going to clip and edit? You know, I'm a basketball player. How are they going to do it? Right. He was like, look, if you're a good person or if you're a bad person, it's going to show no matter what. So if you're a good person on no matter the edit is, if you're a good person, it's going to show. You're going to be that good person. If you're a bad person, it's going to be that. You're going to have good moments. You're going to have bad moments. Both are going to show.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That makes sense.
And even if you have bad moments, it doesn't mean you're a bad person.
Yeah,
like
100%.
that, these people aren't bad people, but
Yeah.
they're all much younger, to be honest, and those relationships were all
their
very
20s.
toxic in the first place.
Yeah.
So that you saw a lot of bad from a lot of the other couples, and I think that's why you didn't see a lot of that with us, because we had already were so much older, had already been through a lot of
all
life,
that,
and
yeah.
all of we've had situations in our past that are like younger, I guess, like 5 years ago when he's playing basketball and stuff. So it's not. It's a whole different, like, where our relationship is at. It's just completely different.
And what
from
you
when theirs
want
were.
really out of life and after the show. Like if
And
you
what's
just
important.
want just clout and stuff, then
Yeah.
buy off negative comments and negative,
Yeah, some
views
people
is
like
just
to
not
feed off
good.
of that, and it's sad.
And I'm glad now, like a lot of the cast members, they're all getting past that. They're all moving past it and trying to be better. It's great now.
Most of them are.
Most
thank
of them,
goodness.
yes,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah, I was thinking while watching some of those scenes, where they do dive into the text messages and they do have phones. And I had a thought of like, well, how'd they get those phones? They're supposed to, be away or whatever. So that was like thought one. But like thought two, I totally agree with you guys. And Allie could probably validate this. You could tell, and it's unfortunate, but hopefully they have learned their lesson and they are progressing. But bro, you could tell that this was a lot for them.
Yeah.
And it's being filmed and they are young. And so they say all these things. There was one scene in particular where I think it was Haley, she's just screaming at Blake that I have to do everything. It says, I do everything for you. And I'm going, baby, I love you, but you're 23. Like, it's going to be okay. You have to work through all these things. And I think the show showcased that very well. People, when you're young, you make young decisions, you act in a younger way. And when you are a bit older and you've gone through the hard times, kind of like what you guys are saying, things still get to you, but not so, not so passionately.
Yeah.
Things piss you off, but you don't want to go for the jugular immediately.
You understand what matters more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
100%. Well, let's talk about your business.
Yeah.
Did you guys decide to do it together from jump? Did somebody else start it? Let's kind of get the beginnings of your business, man. I'm super interested.
And for those that don't know too, like explain what it is. Like give us the
Yes.
details.
We own a drug testing clinic here in San Antonio on the east side. It's called Texas Drug Screens. We thought of it, open up a business. My mother has one, South Texas, successful one. And we were playing overseas. She was working in another business and we just decided, hey, need something when I get done playing. Let's both open up a clinic in San Antonio and run it.
Yeah, I had ran a different business prior about like debt settlement and stuff like that. So I had experience running a business, and he was going to be done with basketball somewhat soon. So we just thought he knew the industry a lot better because it's something his mom has always done. And so when we just talked about it, and then at some point I decided I was ready to sell the other business and move on with this one because I did like the idea of this clinic instead. And then we just kind of got to it. We did it before he retired because we wanted to not just stop everything and jump into it.
You know how when you start a business, the first 3 years, you're back. So, hey, I got to be
understand.
She needs to run the clinic. We need to make, teamwork. Bring something in while feed this one, It
was a process too. The beginning was actually we were scammed out of $10,000 from a contractor. And it was just so horrible. It was crazy. And he ended up having to go overseas for a little bit during a lot of that time. And so I was just trying to figure it out. My dad would help me. I would call him, but I didn't want to like bombard him with all the issues.
I'm 14 hours ahead, 16 hours ahead.
Yeah. So I was just trying to figure it out. And I just remember sitting in that clinic because we were doing a build out for the clinic. We had to add rooms and that's where the contractor kind of screwed us. But we ended up getting it done. But that was probably the most difficult thing. I remember sitting in that clinic with the no walls up yet, thinking there's no way I'm going to get through this because I had to figure out how to do get a permit, commercial permit, without a contractor yet because we're still interviewing new contractors. And that seemed impossible because I didn't know anything. I didn't know what a door schedule meant. I didn't know anything about what the specifics were. So the amount of times I had to go down to the city back and forth and sit with these people and try to figure this out, it felt like it was never going to end.
It's difficult to get any permits for anything. So.
Yeah. But then we ended up getting it. It was the best day ever. So then we moved forward. But it was a struggle for sure, but it's worth it. And it shows you just, businesses aren't that easy to start, obviously. And even
especially I feel we have done 2 build outs with our business, and well, technically 3, but one ended up not working out because of the contractor. So we had to do this whole entire thing. So grateful that it didn't work out. I'm very grateful it didn't. But it's like people see the business, but they don't understand getting just the build out, how stressful that is. I'm like, you're talking and I'm like, oh, I feel so bad.
Yeah, I was starting to sweat when she was talking about it.
You're like, I'm gonna have PTSD.
I'm like, I get that. And those little things of just going to the city and getting permits for things and being that's so real, and things that you just don't see, right? You just see the finished product.
Yeah, 100%.
And doing that alone, so that's it just, I don't know. I always like to think of everything as lessons, right? So it's you just learned a lot of lessons during that.
Definitely.
Oh, I sure did.
She was very sad, and when I was overseas, so I flew back to surprise her, and she was in the clinic painting.
I was painting with the doors locked before we were open.
I go in there and she just drops down and starts crying.
I know,
give her
it's
a
so
hug.
sweet.
It was a surreal moment. It was I came back, help her. Let's get this on the road, and
it was great. Yeah, it was awesome.
It was a great moment.
That's a scene out of a movie, man.
It felt
he flew home to surprise you. She's like, "You're here."
Yeah.
I know.
It was things
paint's
falling
all over
apart.
me.
I'm coming back.
The music's playing, doors are locked, and then I just hear banging on the door. I'm like, okay, someone's gonna jump me right now.
So you kind of saw the business from family members, right? So do you guys kind of do it in tandem, or is this your own separate thing?
No, it's our own separate thing.
Our own separate, yeah.
We took it. We've owned it for about 4 to 5 years. We have government contracts now. We see a lot of people, 60 people a day.
Mm-hmm.
We do CPS hair follicles for all the Region 8 here in San Antonio for all the parents to see their kids. We do all their hair follicles.
We do DNA testing.
Yeah, and then all the DOT, Department of Transportation, drug testing, because on 18-wheelers, every driver has to be drug tested by law.
Mm-hmm.
So they buy, and then we do the consortium and do all that.
Even limousine drivers, we have limousine companies.
All the charters,
it's really cool.
Any drivers.
Yeah.
Limo drivers have to be tested as well, huh?
Mm-hmm.
They're driving
commercial.
people. Yeah, anyone that's driving people.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So I'm asking because I'm curious. So with your background in athletics, I just figured it was just all drug testing type thing. But what do you guys? What's the DNA testing? What's that?
For it's
swab?
Baby daddy testing.
Baby daddy testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, got you. Duh. Okay. I was like, wait, is this about Mars? Like, what is it? Yeah. Okay.
You father or you're not.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. No, that's cool. I wanted to pause. Having a business together, having a relationship that you want to be in together, and then having this new aspect, when David and I were first texting, setting up the interview, he just really kind of in a blip just said, yeah, this is all new to us as well. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got these, it's got to feel, from a personal experience, and Allie can validate this if she wants, but the business is overwhelming at times. The relationship, same. And then when you're bringing in this, this reality TV fame type thing, where now so much of your stuff and who you are is public, how do you do it? Do you guys believe in schedules? Do you just have a lot of empathy? How do you manage all 3 of those?
I'll tell you, a lot of growing pains, right? If you all owned a business and y'all live together, you seen each other 24/7 working together, it's tough. That builds grit, first of all. That's probably one of the hardest times in our relationship, just coexisting together, doing all that with the stress, and then still have to, at the end of the day, love each other unconditionally. So it was that was very hard, and we got through that. So that helped us, once you get through that, we felt like we could take on anything, honestly, because that really tears you down when you're losing, and then you have your partner here, and we're just it's just so hard.
You go through a lot of struggle together, but I think we were able to really figure out that healthy balance that worked for us, where when we're at work, 100%, we're going to work. And then when we're at home, we can talk about work a little bit here and there. It's not going to be like, we have to do this, and that, to where we're stressing each other out. But it's like, oh, well, we got to remember, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm going to do this, or do we need any supplies? Like the stuff that isn't as stressful or heavy is the stuff that we'll talk about, or something exciting. We always talk about the exciting stuff at home, like big contracts we're getting or anything like that. But we really had to figure out that balance. And it did, like he said, a lot of growing pains, figuring out what we were able to balance without getting frustrated with each other or dragging work home every single day and just, having
So
to deal with that.
basically, I go there during the day. She goes the second time.
Well, he'll go in the mornings, I'll go in the afternoons.
So let's be real. All right. So basically,
He likes for me to be there. Like, yeah, I'll go after.
yeah, I like for her to be there, but after.
I go, yeah, I'll like, we'll swap places because we have employees there too, but we like for one of us to always be there just as much as we can because I think it's good to work with everybody there.
And
but
the biggest adjustment too, I would say also, I played professional basketball, right? So discipline, my work ethic is totally different. I think a different way. And she's had her own company, did another business, work. And I didn't understand the business side.
Like the dynamic.
I just understood the discipline side. Like, okay, we got to do this. We got to be there. We got to do that. And so that caused tension and butting heads because I was like, damn. And then I took a step back. It's like, okay, this girl ran a couple companies. I need to understanding to learn from her because I'm new to this space. The discipline aspect where everything is ordered, we're doing this, we email and we call and we getting companies in, like I can handle that side, but it's just, we had to mesh together and understand.
It was really just the communicating. That was really the hardest part because he was so direct and intense and like treating me like I was a basketball player on his team versus a business partner.
Rebound, babe.
Business. Yeah. I just have to rebound for him. But that was one of the biggest things I think that caused a lot of the stress was just how we communicated with work and then brought it home.
And then the show it's just all new to us. The show stuff is fun.
Exciting.
It's exciting.
Yeah, that was like a fun thing.
It is actually fun, the show stuff.
Yeah, because we also went into it knowing that you could do everything the right way and you're still going to have haters, people that talk bad about you.
Yeah, that's very true.
Not everybody thinks the same. So we wanted knowing that. So we just wanted to have fun, be ourselves, learn do better for our relationship, which I think it worked wonders for our relationship. But I think it was more of like an exciting thing for us versus any kind of stress.
No, I love that. And it's funny when you guys are talking about that, I actually thought we could work on not bringing the serious stuff home every day. We're not great at that.
I know. But this is why this is good. It's like, it's so relatable.
So relatable. You know what's funny is I said it last week on the podcast, but selfishly, so we have like a sports side, a couple of drinks, Thirsty Thursday every week. Where Allie and I just kind of talk about the week that was. And then now we're starting to bank these types of episodes where we're going to have people on in entertainment and whatever, right? And on one of our episodes last week, I fully admitted, guys, like I was like, the best thing about the podcast is it's kind of like therapy in the sense, because we talk about our issues and our problems, but because the camera's rolling, we kind of like have a bit more patience with it. And it's been kind of like a life hack, dude. Yeah. So we could work on not bringing the serious stuff home. Yeah. That's a good tip. I appreciate that.
Yeah, happy to help. Just kidding.
So let's move on to you guys have a very important thing coming up, and it is called a ceremony. It is called a wedding. And I want to know what is actually more stressful. Planning a wedding across the water, right? Putting a lot of trust in people, or filming a reality show for 2 months, because one, is going to end. The other one is like a big life thing happening, right?
Well, it's easy. She's planning the wedding, so.
I know. I know, it's so true. Which I'm happy about. I'm a little controlling, so it's working.
Casey's amazing. She's doing it all. Yeah.
I would say that the show is definitely more stressful, only because we found an amazing wedding planner. So I think that's made a big difference for us, that we're very trusting in, and like they're really good at their job. So that's, I think, made a big difference. But also the wedding planning versus the show, the wedding planning, it's all what I want and what he wants to, of course. But what we want.
I'm just there to say, I do.
I like it. I have good taste, luckily. But the show, there's more people incorporated. So you really just don't know. You can't control the aspects of the show. And so I think that's what makes it a little bit more stressful. Because there's more people. So I prefer to plan a wedding, to be honest, which is crazy. A lot of people would not say that, but
she loves to organize and
I do. I'm a very detailed person.
OCD
you didn't see it on the show, but I'm actually a super type A person. Yeah. It's great.
No, actually that It kind of surprises me actually, because I was thinking it was going to be all wedding.
Yeah.
Who's going to
Yeah.
sit by who, all that kind of stuff.
Is the wedding going to be like a large wedding? Is it small? I mean,
Ooh,
because it
yeah.
is like overseas and stuff.
40
Like,
people.
40
right?
people, yeah. Which
Oh,
is
that's not bad.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Italy wedding, yeah.
Small, intimate, close
I'm
friends
so
and
obsessed, yeah.
family.
I'm so excited. I cannot. I leave in 2.5 weeks. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Wow, it's coming
I was
up.
gonna say it's really soon. So yeah, because you guys are in the thick of it now. Yeah. Any other like? Are you guys keeping most things like a secret, or is there
Yeah.
anything like? Has he seen your dress or anything?
No,
Or
just
is
the
that gonna be a
dress.
surprise? Okay.
The dress will be a surprise, and I have a second dress, like a reception dress. That's a surprise too, kind of. But yeah, that's the only thing he hasn't really seen. I've shown him everything that I've chosen because I obviously want an okay from him before I choose it. But also he knows to say okay. So it works out. But everything is just there's not really surprises. We like to share what's gonna happen with our guests because we're having like string trio, we have like a saxophonist, like all this fun stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
that's
during the reception and the party, and it's just so we're very, very lucky and blessed to be able to have this type of wedding, and it being smaller makes it more attainable as well. Also,
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I read somewhere that you guys just have this signal if life's going great, right?
Mhm.
Like, what do you do when life isn't going so hot, and how do you manage that? Is there a signal you put out when you know the other person's having a harder day, so you know to maybe help them out in a certain way?
we do 4L. Anytime, just like when you tell the other person's stressed or if they're dealing with something and they give you the look, you can just do it means for life. Like we're choosing each other for
We
life.
did that during the show.
We did that during the show all the time. We got in trouble for it because we kept looking at each other and you're not supposed to talk to each other. So when we would see each other from afar,
How
Yeah.
dare you love each other? What's wrong with
I know.
And then I hear her laughing on the other days. I'm like,
He stood up at one point. He's like, "It's not that funny," in front of everyone. It cracked me up. I wish they would have put that in
I'm
there.
like, he's over there laughing.
But it was like that little bit of reassurance, especially for the show. It's like we just throw the 4L to each other, and it's like, okay, we still have each other in mind, and then we can go and enjoy what we're doing.
And we kind of have a saying like we're just always gonna figure it out.
Mhm.
It comes our way. What we do best is just figure it out.
Yeah, we've both been through a lot in our lives separate and together, and I think it's really just taking that deep breath because things are going to happen when it's not rainbows and sunshine all the time, and being able to just kind of sit back. We have moments where we're frustrated, where we need a second by ourselves or something, but
And we love our alone time too. We both understand.
We
like
do.
I'll go play golf, or I always go to the gym every day.
Mhm.
She reads
Separately.
outside, or she'll go with her friends. And
I think that's why basketball worked so fine for our relationship because I really have been independent a lot of my life, and then him playing basketball, it really gave me. I kept my independence when he would be gone, so it really was just a really good balance.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I love that. A question I had for you, Casey, is, I mean, tangent, but what got you interested in planes, helicopters, all this stuff? And have you thought about flying yourself into the wedding? You know what I mean? Just like coming out of the
He
sky.
said the same thing. I definitely am not going to fly myself into the wedding because that's just a risk. I've seen too many problems lately, and I know.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
yeah.
I wasn't expecting
thank
that
you.
answer.
No, I have seen.
Like,
No, really, like there's
No.
that's actually happened.
Yeah.
It's been often there's no way. But I went into helicopters. So when I was younger, my grandfather wanted my cousin to get her helicopter license. She was a traveling nurse, and he thought it would be smart to have her license. She could, I don't know what she would do with that, but my grandpa was a brilliant man. So I remember him saying that years and years and years ago. So when I was in college or school and then college, I had played volleyball all throughout school and college. And so I didn't try that. I was a very average student,
State
3.2
champ,
GPA.
state champ.
Oh yeah, high school state champ.
Two rings, back to back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she was.
So I like sports too. But
He's an athlete.
if you were sports people in school, you don't have to try that hard, depending on the school, of course. But
Mhm.
I didn't try that hard. I was a very average student. And when my final semester at Texas Tech, where I went to school, I didn't have volleyball anymore. I wasn't doing anything to take up my time, and I actually tried in class, and so that semester I did a 4.0 GPA, and I was really upset with myself for not actually putting effort in before. So I really wanted to challenge myself after that and just figure out what is it that I know, because I really felt like you can put whatever you put your mind to, you can do, no matter how difficult it is, if you really just put the time to it. So I remembered my grandfather talked about helicopters wanting my cousin to do it. And so I was like, maybe I should try that, because my cousin was not about it. She was like, no, thank you, I'm good. And I was like, I like to do things that are difficult and that a lot of
She
women don't
Googled,
do.
what's the hardest thing a woman could do? I'm doing it.
Marry a man.
Dude, that's funny.
I'm just kidding.
No, but
So that gave me the idea. And then I remember talking to him about it, and he thought it was a great idea. He wanted somebody in the family. He was just like that type of grandfather. So it gave me the confidence. So I found a school in Fort Worth that did the flying, and I was the only girl in the school at the time.
yeah.
It was great. I was also working like 60 hours a week. Um,
On
while-
top of it.
on top of that. So it was different.
Wow.
It really showed myself that you can actually do anything you put your mind to if you really want it bad enough. So that was the whole reason behind it. And then I've flown my sister around for fun, and I just do it for fun. It's only a private pilot license. It's not like I can go do it for work right now. I would have to add to that. But it's just one of those accomplishments that I'm very, very proud of.
Yeah, that's huge. And also too, I do think it's really cool that it's like you were the only woman that was like at school. That's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel that same way too. When it's like maybe people, it's like, oh, they can maybe underestimate you or something. Like, but look
Yeah.
what I can do.
Look what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
know.
always underestimate, especially in a school like that. And whenever we did our check ride, which is the final flight with the chief pilot to either be a pilot or not, I did mine in the first try, and the other guys didn't.
Dude, that's amazing. I
know,
love that.
When we met and she told me that, I was like, oh, badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Google me now.
Yeah.
Google me now.
Yeah, I don't really fly much anymore because I just haven't made the time for it. But I considered getting like my fixed wing license add-on. It's easier to add a license after that with just airplanes, but haven't made the time for it. So
See, my favorite thing that you actually just said is you literally said, I haven't made the time for it. You didn't say I don't have time for it, because
good.
as you also said, you're like, okay, I was doing 60 hours a week working while still going to school. You can do anything, just it's prioritizing that time. And so even that mindset. So did you always have, sorry if I'm kind of going off track, but did
No,
you
you're
always,
fine.
because I'm always
There's no rules, baby.
I'm always so interested in high performers, people that own businesses, people that do really well in sports. Like I really think it's a mindset thing. So do you feel like you've always just had this mindset of like high achieving, and just as simple as you said of I just haven't made the time for it, instead of I was on a TV show and I'm planning a wedding overseas and all these different things and making excuses of I don't have time?
Yeah.
What behind that, have you always had that mindset, or how did that come out to be how you are?
I don't think I've always had that mindset. I'm the youngest girl in my family of 4. So it's like boy, girl, me, boy. And so I was just kind of like, I followed everything my sister did, to be honest. I was definitely one of those. She hated it. But I didn't really have that mindset. However, I had grandparents that were very successful and very wise. And I felt like as I got older, I wanted to impress them more than anybody else. And so I would do things kind of just that I would be excited to talk to them about. And then my sister went into the Marines, which nobody in my family has been in the military that I can recall. And so that was a jump that I was shocked by. And that was the first experience I saw where someone could do something so out of what we're used to and be really good at it. And I saw her do that, and it kind of gave me the itch to want to do something like almost like competing with my sister, but I'm not going to go in the military.
Okay.
So I wanted to just make my grandparents and my parents proud, more so, I think. And I like the idea of being that person who's quiet about it, but just does it. And then, because I don't like attention on me, but I like when I'm like, when I do something really successful and people see that. That's the type of thing that I really like to see. So I think after my sister went to the military is when that mindset shifted. And that's where I really wanted to try harder with things and find things that were difficult. And that's the age where I really started doing that. So, yeah.
Dude, that's great. We're military on this side too. I have my dad, my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law actually flew Cobra helicopters for the Marines.
My sister's
So-
husband flies Hueys, though.
Huey's, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
No, he's a major.
A major, yeah.
Yeah, she
One's
was a
major,
captain.
the
She got
other's
out.
Got you. Yeah. That's funny. So my brother-in-law became captain, stayed like a year, and then he got out. So that must be a good sweet spot in the military,
Yeah.
right?
I think it is, yeah.
David, with your basketball career, what was the thing that your I don't want to say this could be go a couple different ways. I want to ask what the thing is you're most proud of, but I also want to ask what was the thing you worked hardest for that maybe is just more of a proud moment, but instead of proud, I hope this comes out right, but instead of like you've worked hard for something to achieve it, it was more like a relief as opposed to something you're just so proud about that just kind of came during your career.
Well, basketball, I would say, was like an escape for me just to get away from everything. So I was just like, okay, when I was in basketball, I didn't think about no problems. I didn't think about what happened or where I'm going or anything. It was just a kind of like a when I got the ball, everything was quiet and just focused on the game. It was like tunnel vision. So that helped me, learn leadership, helped me learn how to treat people, how to work as a team and everything growing up, which I didn't have that. So going into the pro stage, it was just like the moment I made it is like what I said earlier when I looked into the stands and I saw these little kids wearing my jersey and they're all sold out. I'm in Indonesia, in Bali, all sold out, arena packed. I'm signing babies, I'm signing everything. I was just like, wow, these people don't even know who I am, but I'm over here like a star, in there for the first time. We're winning. It's just sold out tickets and everyone has my jersey. It was so surreal. It gave me goosebumps. After the game, I ran up to the stands, took a picture with the little kids. It was just like at that moment, I was like, damn, okay, I made it. I told myself I always wanted to play professional basketball no matter what. Went to trials, didn't get looked at for college. Had to go to trials. Went to an open trial, ended up dunking on the best player. Coach signed me right after, instantly. Boom. I was like, thank you, God. And then I went through the whole season, then got a scholarship to go play in West Virginia at Salem University and took off there and then no agents wanted me. I went through the website, FIBA.com, and emailed every single agent, right? So one reached back out, hey, you want to do this in Lima, Ohio? It's a little semi-pro team. I was like, I might as well. I've got to get away from home. Might as well go do it. Go take off, drive Ohio. From there, I get drafted into Canada for the league there. I was like, okay, wow, got good stats, got drafted, went overseas, turned pro. It was amazing.
You just needed a chance.
I just needed a chance and someone to see me and just never give up. So it was
Wow.
crazy.
Dude, that's amazing, man. I think you had a great perspective too, because I think we get fed, especially. So I'm a basketball nut too. So I like fighting and basketball. It's kind of my things, right? Um, so in basketball, I think kids get fed at a very young age now that like it's NBA or nothing, and whether that's on purpose or not, that seems to be the track that a lot of these younger like AAU teams or traveling teams take when they get these coaches. And I love that you were like, no, I did make it. I played professional basketball and here's my journey. That's such a relieving perspective as opposed to like, I don't know, a guy like Ben Simmons who gets a fat contract and goes, no, I'm good. I'm not playing basketball anymore. Like the reality of having, gratitude in something you're pursuing is huge, man. I love that, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
I think people miss the idea of the joy in it too. If they just put that pressure on themselves with the end goal only and miss the joy of the journey along the
And
way.
there's a lot of players that, and parents that support their kids. And it's just like, hey, you're not going to make the NBA. All right, go get a job. No, that's wrong. Your kid's talented. You can go, there's so many different routes to get where you want to be. There's not just one way,
100%. I mean, now you could even be like all these guys on YouTube. They're not in the league, but they're getting paid playing basketball,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So to shut down something like that, yeah, I don't understand that either. I think the other direction is obviously better. You guys, after the wedding, you get settled back, you're back in your business, you're trying to hit these goals. We get it. What about the kid conversation? Do we have this conversation now? Do we want them? Do we not? Do we just want more dogs? What's going on that aspect?
Yes,
Both,
definitely both.
dogs. He has been ready for kids actually for a while, to be honest.
Oh, a little starting five.
Yeah, I know. They'll be tall. But I've been wanting to wait till I was married, just to something that I just was really big on. So that's why one of the reasons why we went on the show is because I knew that was going to give us an answer of some kind, because I wanted to be married before we had kids. So we know that we're definitely going to not avoid trying after we get married. That's when we're finally, we're just gonna, I don't think we're gonna be tracking anything, but we're just gonna start like having
And
fun.
just see what happens.
See what happens, yeah, and give it at least 6 months to a year of just seeing what happens naturally, and then we'll look into things after that. But we're ready after we're married. We'll start preparing for that because we're 35 and 34, so we're ready
34.
to. Yeah, I'm 35.
I know I'm 34.
I said 34, I think. Something like that.
I love it.
Well,
We-
we argue
Probably
back
get a
and
dog
forth.
first, another
I'm
one like
younger.
ours.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That a
Yeah.
poodle.
Yeah, I'm
When
obsessed.
people ask us about kids and all that, I always just tell them the best thing about, well, the most reality of a kid to me is it's just constant.
Yeah.
Like it's the dripping water from the faucet. It just keeps kind of going. And some days it's awesome, doesn't bug you. Other days you're like, we got to fix this leak, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's very cool. You know, talking with you guys, I just feel like Allie and I can relate in so many ways. I mean, talking about business for sure, you know, Allie runs her hair salon and has been really successful at it for all these years. And to validate everything you guys say about that aspect of your lives, you know, we can relate where people don't see what actually makes the business good. They don't see what actually makes the business thrive. And they just see the Instagram photo, you know, and to peel that back a little bit, I love that you're still being open and honest about your relationship. I mean, how you interact, you know, having these boundaries with the business when you come home, like these are all huge. Have you had more people come up to you, trying to talk to you and say, oh, we relate on this aspect, we relate on that aspect from interviews that you've done? Or do people come up to you more just wanted to talk about, you know, the tea and the gossip and things like that from the show?
I would say my feedback, I've gotten a lot of relate feedback with my mom passing and with, you know, me talking about how it was my biggest on the show, things like that. A lot of women specifically have related to me and have really wanted to talk to me about that. And because they think I was the only normal girl on there, but I don't get a lot of the tea drama kind of questions from really anybody.
Yeah.
And is that like go ahead, David.
Yeah, I go to the gym. I, take pictures with like
What?
kids and families and stuff. They want to come up. Hey, we saw you on Netflix. Can you take pictures of my daughter? Of course.
Mhm.
Couple of older women and men. They come up to me like, "Damn, you were a great person on that. I just want to let you know you did a great job," and just thanking me. I was like, "Wow, I appreciate it." They're like, "It's crazy how I feel like I know you for just seeing a couple hours on TV of you." I was like,
Yeah.
"Appreciate it. It's a lot. It's clipped and edited, but I thank you for that and appreciate the support."
Yeah.
So I have one final question. Do you have anything else
No,
you want to do?
no,
Okay.
I think no.
Do you
I
want to be a
think maybe
consultation?
no.
I said, no, no, Casey, we
But
got you.
is that all your natural hair?
It is, yeah, all natural.
I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing.
All natural.
It is. I'm very blessed.
I don't think I've ever met somebody so perfect.
Nah.
I'm like,
I'm not
right? I'm like, wow, this is so cool that like also because you guys are a little bit more in the public eye now that so many people get to know who you are. Like, what a gift! Like that's such a blessing for so many people. And
Thank
the
you.
topping on it is that she has natural hair.
That's pretty
No.
awesome.
That's pretty incredible. I don't see that very often.
Regularly crimped.
I always call it crump, but she's
Yeah, he's like
crimped.
doing the crumping. You're funny.
The crumping.
the hairstyle.
That's great. Well, you guys, we were so excited to have you on. Like to say we're nervous is an understatement. To say that we're happy we did it is also an understatement. But before we go, I wanted to ask this, and I really am curious. Like going through all these experiences and building a business together, all of these things, these aspects that are now so public, right? Anybody can find out so much more about you guys. What to both of you really is going to be success to you? Is it going to be, 2 years from now, the show's dying, no one brings it up and our business is building? Is it still kind of a little bit of both, meaning, hey, maybe there's another opportunity with Netflix and the business is growing? Is it just you guys are doing well in life? Like, how do you guys define success now that you have these unique experiences?
To me, I would just say a healthy family for sure.
Yeah.
Kids and just continue to be the best we can for each other for sure.
I think it's a feeling. So it's not really an accomplishment of a business because we can open a million businesses. We can do it, and every business is going to have ups and downs. Or a family, there's ups and downs with having a family. It could be difficult for us to do that. I think really success is just the feeling of knowing that it's not the end and that you can keep going with your partner. I think that's more success, and having that where you join together and have that feeling of that safety with each other where you're like, okay, this didn't work out, but we have something to look forward to, and always having that idea of looking forward to something that's fun and exciting for each of us versus something that's going to be super, super difficult or that we feel like we have to accomplish. I think that's more success in my eyes. I just want us to be happy together, and whatever that looks like, that's success, I think.
I feel like me just in the front yard, backyard, shooting basketball with my son. That's success. That's just,
That is not,
Get up, son.
absolutely. 100%. 10 push-ups. I'm kidding.
Right. Give me a lap.
Give me a lap. I love both those answers.
And just so simple too.
So
because
simple.
it's so cool because the world is your oyster and you can honestly have and achieve whatever you want. And so it's like that, just that feeling. It's like so simple. It's like stripping away all the things and all the success and all of that. And it's just like that feeling.
Yeah,
Like,
just way to
yeah.
pressure.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, thank you so much again. We'll wrap this up. Not that people don't know, but where, if they aren't fully aware of your guys' journey and everything, where can everyone follow you guys on social media? Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff.
Instagram and TikTok, both for me, are Casey C. Douglas.
And for me, it's David Atkinson _1.
Perfect. All right.
Thank
Well,
you guys.
cheers, you guys. Thank you so much for coming on.
Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Oh, boom. All right. Let's hang out for a minute while this uploads. One sec.
Okay.